good, y'all? Welcome
good?
to an episode of the GinTV podcast. As always, your boy Ease.
Hey, A1 the Sauce God.
And today we got a very, very special guest in the building today. We got the man GQ in here.
You already know.
What's the name GQ?
GQ started actually in prison.
In prison.
And an OG dude from out of DC, he always used to see me, and I always used to look spiffy. I always was
In prison?
in prison. I always was pressed, Prison had people. When I went to prison first of all wasn't called prison, it was called penitentiary.
Okay.
It was a culture. It's prison, then it went from penitentiary to prison, then it went from prison to facility.
Okay. Now it's called facility.
Now it's called facility. Institution facility. And because each program, which was convict, then you went to inmate, but each prison then went to penitentiary, went from penitentiary to prison, from prison to facility. And when that happened, the culture of prison actually changed.
Okay.
The landscape of how prison was ran actually changed. When I went in, prison was being ran by the convicts. That's when it was penitentiary.
So when you say ran by the convicts, you mean like...
All staff members did was prevent you from going home and prevent you from hurting themselves. Staff.
That's it. Like, they were just adult babysitters at that point.
Yep. They didn't care what you did to each other. They
Really?
didn't care if we stabbed each other, killed each other, raped each other. That's just what prison was back then. And the majority of the cops that was back then when I went in, they were Ku Klux Klan guys anyway.
In the prison?
In the prison.
Like running the prison?
Running the prison. The Grand Wizard was from Summers, Connecticut. He was actually, the Grand Wizard, he was a union rep at Summers Prison.
Well, where's Summers Prison?
In Summers, Connecticut. Right outside.
So that's where you spent your time?
Right outside of Enfield. And in between the town line of Enfield, Summers, and Springfield, Massachusetts.
So you have a KKK member, like a high-ranked KKK member, running a prison with black people in it.
With black inmates and maybe 2 black officers at the time. When I got there, there was only 2 black officers.
He was probably happy to see y'all there. And probably provoking stuff even more.
No, he was white. He was black, but he was white. He exhibited the characteristics of a cold-blooded, stone cold house nigga.
Wait, so it's
he
a
was
black
that
guy.
same cop.
It's a black
guy. No, it was a black prison with black inmates, but 2 black officers out of 300 white COs.
Oh, he's talking about the black officers acted like
black officers.
Yo, they probably acted like Samuel L. Jackson did in the movie. You ever watch the Django?
No, they acted like that black cop from Boys in the Hood when he told Ice Cube and them, I hate your skin.
No, if you think that guy's bad, if you watch the movie, it's with Jamie Foxx. It's his other, but there's a house nigga in that movie that makes the guy from Boys in the Hood fucking look like nothing.
Yeah. Was he the light-skinned old drunk?
No,
Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, Sam was.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm thinking of the movie when Denzel was playing. He was trying to find who killed the sergeant.
No, I don't know that one.
We kind of jumped into this one. We didn't even get our drinks in yet.
Let's try it out.
So today we're trying out New England Brewing Company G-Bot.
G-Bot.
See,
my first.
Our first time trying this one.
Damn. Okay.
I give it like an 8. It has like a fruitier flavor to it.
Yeah, I'll give us a 7
this
out of 10.
Shit nasty as hell.
I had a feeling most people don't like IPAs, man.
You gotta drink this just knowing you're gonna get drunk. That's it.
I actually like the flavor.
Drink beer in general, man. Like
no, absolutely not.
This shit nasty.
This is some straight hillbilly, Beverly Hills Billy.
So, have you ever had an IPA before?
Oh,
an IPA. This type of beer.
Indian Pale Ale.
No.
Okay.
What would you rate it?
Would I rate this right here? 2.5. No, it's disgusting for real. No, I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
I'm not the CEO of the company.
You don't gotta keep drinking it, man. It's all right.
Woo.
Well, yo, for a lot
of the only reason why I'm getting past it because it tastes like Jailhouse Bruno.
What's your beer choice?
Heineken.
Okay. Well, that's like water to me.
That's all I knew when I went to jail. So we had a relationship.
They let y'all drink in jail?
No, that's all I knew before I went to jail.
Okay.
So let's backtrack a little.
Let's go back to GQ because you want to know the name, the origin of the name.
Mm-hmm.
So DC gave me the name because I was always fly.
Okay.
But when I realized where the name originated from, which was Gentleman's Quarters, GQ magazine, no. You're not calling me GQ based on that. I didn't want to be associated with the GQ magazine.
Okay.
And so I said, well, let me come up with something. I laid down, brainstorm, light bulb came on. GQ, gifted and qualified.
All right.
But I was stuck for a day or two with just GQ, gifted and qualified. I said, wait, why would you call yourself gifted and qualified? Okay, well, put something to it where nobody can argue about it. Especially that's black. All right, gifted because I'm black. All right, now, be gifted because I'm black, and because I'm black and gifted
makes you qualified.
Makes me qualified for anything.
Okay.
And the reason why I did that, because I was on some 5%er type thing back then. And the 5%ers thought in alignment with creating thought like that, like making a black man realize and understand he is the cream of the planet Earth, father of civilization, in a roundabout way.
Right.
You know,
yeah.
To let us know, because the black man been put down so much. So now here I am choosing his name and then choosing the meaning behind his name. You know what I mean? Pushes my self-esteem and confidence and how I see myself, push me through another door just by the name.
You just got to reshape the, the thought behind it.
I tell people all the time, like, when someone mispronounces your name and you don't like correct them or say something, like, I find it to be very disrespectful to yourself, because like your name's a big part of you, a big part of your life, and like just how you see yourself, right? So if you let someone purposefully or just on accident like mispronounce your name, right? They're like really disrespecting you on a whole like another level that you're probably not even processing, but like they just keeps on happening before you know you don't even know like who you are, like, cause that's like one of the few things that you get, like that's what you for life, right? Is your name.
Right.
That's like that's a pet peeve of mine. Like when somebody
like what's crazy? I don't even mind. I don't understand when people like blow it out of proportion and like they don't, like I misspelled somebody. I missaid someone's name the other day and they kind of snapped on me. I'm like, well, excuse me, my bad. Was it your first
time, or has you been doing this?
Probably been doing it for a little
bit. All right, there we go. So they're fed up.
Yeah, but your name it's not even like I called you like Adrian and Andre. You know, it's like something similar. It probably just mispronounced the O in your name, but. I don't know. Sometimes people take
respect on my name.
Sometimes people take it a little too serious, but
who said that?
Little Birdman.
Little Birdman on the other podcast show. So, respect, partner.
When so for people that don't know, you just did 40 years. Is it 39 years?
39 years and 7 months. Rounded off 40.
When did you first go in?
1983.
How old were you?
I was 2 months into my 17th birthday.
2 months. Were you still in high school at the time?
No, I never went to high school. I dropped out of third grade.
Third grade?
Mm-hmm.
Where are you originally from?
Right, Waterbury, Connecticut.
Okay. So
my mother was a heroin addict, and as a result of that, we didn't go back to school when she became full-fledged heroin addict.
So what were you doing from like 3 to 17? Just
juvenile delinquent.
Were you in and out of juvie at that time?
Yep, in and out of juvie. Only because in the beginning, because the state found out about my mother and the conditions of the children at the time in the house. And
how many of you guys were there?
It was 5 of us.
5?
Yeah.
Are you the oldest?
No, I have one older brother.
Okay.
And 4 of us have the same father and 1 don't. And the oldest brother doesn't.
Okay.
But I had a sister with Down syndrome and 2 younger siblings. And so that really forced me to jump the gun and have to go out and help take care of my brothers and sisters, because I couldn't see my sister with Down syndrome starving. She didn't know one way or another if she was dressed or not.
Oh, like she had bad Down syndrome. Like
she'd be running. Where's Jennifer at? She's down 3 blocks down the street playing with 20 other young kids, and they're so used to her being naked they don't even pay attention to it no more.
Right.
Oh.
And nobody's never doing nothing. No violations, no nothing.
Okay.
That's Jennifer.
That's what she do.
That's what Jennifer does. Okay. Sometimes she'll be naked with the shoes on the wrong side of the feet.
Okay.
Just take off, gone.
Gone.
Right, so you're this young.
That caused me to hit the streets.
You dropped out of high school.
No, I never was in high school.
Or dropped out of school.
Third grade.
Your mom's, an addict. Mm-hmm. So like, what are you doing? Like, are you like trapping yourself? Like you're just doing like side jobs?
Nah, trapping didn't even exist. That's a word that's this generation.
Yeah. Okay.
And my peers, drugs wasn't like it is right now.
Okay.
So there wasn't negative opportunities for you
to make money.
So we had to do it the old school way, which was we was adopting what the 60s and 70s guys did, which we were the children of the 50s and 40s. We was the children of them. So what we did was we followed the line with the dudes who were If I was 14, I hung around dudes that were 19, 20. These dudes were doing all kinds of things. They have many hats. They might be a pimp. They might be a Mac Daddy. They might be a drug dealer. They might be a car shark, a gambler, whatever. Stick you up, rob you. Okay. They did everything. They weren't just restricted to one thing. Now it's you're a crack dealer, you're a crack dealer. Dope dealer, you're a dope dealer. There's not many different avenues. There wasn't many different avenues being as it is to as a result of it is now. Okay. So I went out in the street, started stealing, hanging out with the OG dudes. They taught me how to steal cars, snatch pocketbooks, rob people, and all that type of stuff. At around 13. Okay. In fact, I ran away at the age of 13 and lived in the streets for a whole year. Because my mother was so abusive at home, I just couldn't take it no more. Thank God I ran away during the summertime. Because I was able to maintain during the summer and pick up ways on how to survive when the winter was approaching. And I developed relationships with different OGs dudes. So during the wintertime, I was able to crash at their spots. You know, I didn't live in cardboard box nowhere, nothing like that.
Okay.
And then I started developing different type of skill sets when it came to what criminals do. And as a result of that, one night I went and did a robbery, and the robbery went wrong. And
that's when you're 17,
right? And the person resisted. Now, it ended up being capital felony murder, because what happens is if you go rob somebody, and
are you by yourself when you're doing
by
it?
myself?
So no
nobody
friends
else
telling you do this shit.
Nobody else. No.
Okay.
No peer pressure, anything of that nature. Okay. Not to say that peer pressure wasn't there.
I'm just saying
subliminally.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But there was no other factors there.
There was no other factors. So only that my brothers and sisters need to eat.
So you went to go rob someone.
So now this night I went to go rob somebody, but it wasn't one of those particular days and nights that I normally do it. I was desperate. And out of that desperation, I ran to a person who resisted.
Was it a man, woman?
A woman.
Okay.
And I never experienced resistance before.
So anytime you robbed someone before, they just gave it right
Snatched, didn't hold on to the purse, get a wallet right up, whatever.
Okay.
But this time the person resisted.
Like they tried to fight you? Like
yeah,
they had a gun
they tried to fight. They looked at me and they sized me up. I'm 56 now. Look at me, bro.
Yeah.
I don't look 56. So imagine how I looked at 17. I looked at 14. $150, 5'11". You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. No scars, no nothing. And so what happens is, let me give you a story. I met many people in prison that was doing 60, 70, 80 years life. And they were regular guys who just was addicted to drugs. And they might have had a gun that only had one bullet in it. And they went to rob the gas station or a convenience store. And then you have one of those guys that look at you, size you up, and say, oh, look at him, he's old crackhead. He ain't doing nothing but robbing and trying to get some crack. Try you. Grab the gun. Now, you got your hand on the gun, the trigger's on the gun. You got this guy who thinks he can overpower you because he done size you up.
Yeah.
Right? Normally this happens not to be on no type of racist thing, but normally the few guys I've met that were in prison for this, it happened in the Indian guys always try it.
Like the Indian guys will resist?
The Indian guys at the 7-Elevens and convenience stores, they will not give up the money.
Nah, for whatever reason, Indian people, they really ride for their 7-Elevens and gas stations.
They ride it down. Like, talk junk when you got the gun in your hand. Show me, go ahead, show me. I know scared of you. You want to shoot? You go ahead and shoot. You want to shoot? I know you want to.
Nah, for real. Like I always see the videos where like the Indian guys be coming around the corner, like trying to fight people. Trying to
fight you with a hammer. You got a gun. But anyway.
Oh, they're not logical, bro. I'm weird to somebody put a gun on my face. Like,
no. Yo, you got the whole story?
You got it. You got it, bro.
You didn't even just lock up after you done.
You got it.
I'm not losing my life over Doritos and a couple pennies.
Absolutely not.
All right.
So what happened was,
so was the
when I
lady
my
that
victim,
you robbed Indian?
No, she wasn't Indian, but I was just giving you an example.
No, I'm just saying. I'm curious. I'm just curious of her race.
Italian.
Italian. Okay.
And but she resisted.
Okay.
Which is a natural thing for a person who's trying to protect theirs.
Yeah.
But this is the crime. Let me show you how the criminality's mind is. The criminal state mind. When I go to rob you, my mind state is, I got you. I caught you slipping.
Yeah.
That's just like if the sticker boy run up on you, you get money, he caught you slipping, give it up, lay down, see you another day.
Yeah.
So now if I'm robbing you and I caught you and I got you, in my mind now, that money's mine.
Yeah. It's already yours before it's in your hand.
So anything you do contrary to giving that money up is gonna piss me off.
Because you're taking my money now.
And I'm taking but I'm taking your money, but you're making me mad because I got you in a position where you need to live to see another day. I know this because I'm saying to myself, if I was you and you was robbing me, I'll give you the money, even though I'm a criminal. I'm still thinking that way.
Yeah, because you want to live to rob another day.
Exactly. But some people don't think like that. Their rationale is just whack. And then again, we can't even say that. It's just how things are. She's fighting for hers.
Yeah.
That's hers.
It makes sense.
So as we're talking and struggling, and as a result of that, I end up stabbing her in the esophagus and the neck, and she bled out.
So you didn't even have a gun. You had a knife on you.
Right. Which kind of made it kind of worse when it came time for trial, because when you kill somebody with a knife, people really look at that as being personal.
Like you intended to do that.
Right. It's different from when you shoot somebody.
Which kind of makes sense, because a gun can go off by accident very easily.
But if he said it did.
Yeah.
But even if it's proven that he shot you, boom, it's one shot. Now if I stand over you and shoot you 8 times, now it's equivalent to me stabbing you. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So that became one of the main focuses of the actual case. Oh, he's a maniac. He's a monster.
Before we get into the case, I kind of just want to pick your mind. So you go to rob this lady. You think it's just an average night, right? She resists. You accidentally stabbed her, like in the
trying to cut the pocketbook strap, reaching back because she grabbing me and everything.
Okay. So
I'm panicking. I didn't know what to do.
This is your first time actually.
It's my first time experiencing resistance.
Okay. So you stab her. What do you do now? Like, she's bleeding out. What do you like? What's going through your head? Like, do you just run away?
Panic. No, I panic.
Okay.
But I don't run away because the money's still there.
Okay. So you get the money.
Right. And they're no threat to me now.
Yeah.
So, they were sitting in the front seat of the passenger. They sat in the front seat of the passenger.
Was it more than one person?
Yeah, it's one person.
No, you said they. That's why I saw that.
Meaning the person.
Oh, okay.
They were sitting.
All right.
I shouldn't have said it like that. But she was sitting in the front seat of the car, right there, and just collapsed backwards. So I just pushed her over, jumped in the car, ran it, drove to the woods, jumped the body in the woods, took the car, went joyriding like a little teenager kid.
Okay.
Not even thinking about the body at all. And you say, you're looking at me like, really? So how is
a kind of a wild experience. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It is wild.
No, because I'm trying to like see what you're actually going like as this is happening, right? Like, are you thinking like fuck, like
you're probably not even thinking
I'm
like
fucked, or is it just like damn, or I got away with it type shit? Like, are you? Is it really like
I got to do another robbery tomorrow? I'm not even thinking about it.
Okay.
Like it's just part of the game, kind of thing.
Let me point out why my mind was like that. Now go back to Mom Dukes. Abused since I was a child. Coming out the womb, abused. Circumstances surrounding me and her and my father. And because I was abused so much, I never experienced love. I thought hate was love. I said, well, what does that mean? Well, if you beat me last night and didn't beat me as severe as you did last night, I didn't think you hated me as much as you did last night, because I thought hate was love. Because I never experienced, come here, baby. Mommy love you. None of that. If I can't stand you, I hate you, look just like your daddy, I'm going to kill you. Don't eat for 2-3 days. Torture me, beat me, all kinds of shit. That's what made me run away.
No, I get it. I'm not questioning now, like how you got there.
Right. But I'm trying to give you a mental picture.
So, but go ahead. Sorry.
So, because of all that abuse and all those different type of things I went through as a child, when I should have been nurtured, when I should have been taught the value of life,
you're put in a hostile environment, like, and you got to react.
Abnormal, hostile, everything.
What was your personality like before this happened? Were like you really aggressive, or
no?
Were you just like
no?
A chill person for the most part.
I was laid back. I was cool. I was laid back. I was kind of popular in my little circle, in my little neighborhood, because I was always the live one, the wild one, acting out because I couldn't beat my mother, but I can try to do something to you.
Yeah.
So by the time I was old enough to hit the streets because of all the abuse I've experienced as a child, I was so mentally and psychologically desensitized that I couldn't distinguish the difference between the value of killing a human being and stealing a pencil.
It's all the same to you.
So it didn't mean nothing to me to dump the body in the woods and leave and go joyriding like I never did nothing.
All right, so
you understand what I'm saying?
No, I get it. I definitely get it. So back to that night, right? So you're joyriding. Like, do you go like see your partners at this point? Like, you just go home?
No, I went joyriding. riding around the park, shit like that. Picked up a couple of my boys.
Did you go like tell somebody? Like what
I
just
told
happened?
a couple people that. Yep, absolutely.
Okay.
Feeble-minded, stupid, thinking it's cool. We all shared criminal stories together, and we went and did something downtown.
Yeah.
Because the cops never came to the black neighborhoods when something happened to somebody downtown. They didn't think we had enough balls to come down there and do nothing.
Okay.
That's just how it was set up back in those days. In fact, the police station wasn't even where it's at. The police station is where City Hall is at right now.
Oh, on the other side by the park?
Next to the library.
Okay, I know what you're talking about. That's where the police station used to be.
That was the police station.
Oh, even farther away from like the downtown area.
Right. The police station now is so they can look straight up into Bishop Street. That's why they built it there, so they can get straight up into Bishop Street and control that general area right there.
Okay.
And so, yeah, so it wasn't, the emotional aspect of it wasn't there. The remorse aspect of it wasn't there.
Like, so this was just like another thing for you. You just was like.
Let me ask you this.
Just like breathing.
Really?
Yeah,
I know a lot of people, or I've heard, I'm not going to say I know. I've heard that like usually when someone murders someone for the first time, like they throw up. Did you you want the drink? No, go ahead. Did you throw up or anything like that? Or, like it didn't even like nothing.
I just told you.
No, I know.
No, nothing at all. He really felt.
I was desensitized. I couldn't distinguish the difference between the value of killing a being and stealing a pencil. You know, I ain't gonna throw up if her life was just as worth as a pencil to me. You understand what I'm saying? The day was over.
Yeah.
That part of the game was over.
That was just like another part of the day.
Yeah, she's somewhere, and no disrespect to the family if they ever hear this or whatever, and that's what was happening. She was decomposing.
Okay. So
literally.
Wow. So this is like some time had went by before.
So
almost a week.
So how long did it go before
about a week.
They caught up to you?
About a week.
A week?
Yeah.
How did they?
Yeah. How did they?
I went on a run.
How did they catch you? What was what tipped you off to go on the run?
But it was on the news that
like your face was on the news? Or?
No, it was on the news that the car was missing and that the lady was missing. I panicked again, but just so happened my aunt was going to North Carolina to pick up her kids that lived down there for the summer.
Okay.
So she asked me if I want to take a ride.
But she doesn't know what's going on.
But nobody knows.
Okay, just a couple of your friends, right?
Yeah, and they never said nothing. As a matter of fact, those two individuals. People testified on me who never knew nothing about the case. Read about it in the paper, mastered it, and act like they seen me in the park and I told them.
Really?
About 5 guys.
Are you sure they didn't see you though? Like, are you sure nobody was there?
No.
Okay.
Trust me. These dudes actually testified because they had other cases themselves and they were using my case as a vehicle to drive them out of there.
Oh.
And the state was, excuse me, the state was down with it. You know, they don't care as long as
they want something. They want somebody.
They want a conviction.
What's that movie? The five kids in the park or whatever it was, where they ended up
Chicago 5.
Yeah, that was that New York thing, right?
Yeah, Chicago 5, where they got blamed for like raping that lady, and it wasn't them.
That was Chicago 5? That was New York.
No, New York 5.
New York 5.
There's another thing, Chicago. Yeah, the New York 5.
Where like somebody ended up testifying on them, or pretty
she
much
went for a jog or something like that.
Yeah, and the people ended up testifying just because and saying that they
told them.
That they saw them, that they witnessed it, everything.
Right, they just lied.
So, all right, so you're like in North Carolina at this point?
Yeah, so what I do is I go with my aunt. We go to North Carolina. So we get down North Carolina, and about the next day, 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning, phone rings. My grandmother answers the phone. It's my uncle, my father's brother, answers the phone. And he tells her they're looking for me for suspect for murder, for questioning. So now I'm like, how the hell they know? You know.
Like, how did shit even make it?
Yeah, how they know? Did my boys tell on me?
Did you have a record? Like, did you have a paper? Oh, okay. Yeah, so they probably fingerprints and shit, you know?
So this is what I find out. So during trial, they had a guy testify on me. And he testified.
Before you get to, so did they come pick you up, or you just went back, then you turned yourself in?
No. No, I have to tell you about this. This leads up to why and how they bust me.
Okay.
How they found out I was involved.
Gotcha.
When I put the body in the woods and drove out of the woods, I was driving out of an area that it has an interpass dirt section where you could do a U-turn, because this particular street has no U-turns. It has U-turns, but it has no sidewalks.
Okay.
It's a straightaway Waterville Street.
Okay.
You know Waterville Street, right? That's the one that takes you towards Fairmount.
Crazy thing is, as you're talking, I'm like thinking about
Right.
Waterville.
So Waterville Street right there on this end of Waterville Street is the Connecticut River.
I don't know what river that is.
That's the Connecticut.
I think so. I think you're right. Yeah.
The Naugatuck or Connecticut River is right there.
Might be the Naugatuck River.
And there's a train track over there too.
Yep.
So I remembered that. Train track, mad bushes. So I drove over the train tracks, ran the body out of the car, jumped back in the car, and as I'm coming out of doing the U-turn, there's cars coming from Fairmount area, hitting Waterville to go to wherever they was going. So while I'm sitting in the car, I got my arm looking out the window sideways, but in the car headlights are hitting me in the face. But I'm not thinking nothing of it because back then, only white people lived going towards Fairmount general area.
Okay.
So I didn't pay no attention to it. So as I'm down south, and then it comes on TV that they're looking for me for murder, it comes out that this dude who lived on my street had a girlfriend in Fairmount Projects and was coming home that day,
And saw you.
Waterville Street, and seen me in the car. So when he seen the car on TV, he said, I seen Urano in that car doing a U-turn on Waterville Street. Now, there's, the cops are thinking cop-wise. What was he doing on Waterville? Trying to piece it all together. Crime, So they came up with rake the area. When they raked the area, they found the body
Okay.
because of what this dude did.
Damn, what are the odds that like
I
It
would
always
never,
works out like that, bro.
ever imagine this dude who lived on my street for 22 years, who played with me, his brothers and sisters, played with my brothers and sisters, would do that and did do it. And then even after they did find out who I was and eventually I got arrested, I didn't know he was the one that did it until it was time for him to testify on me. So he's downstairs in the bullpen next to me and we're talking like, yo, what up, homeboy? I miss you, man. Yo, man, what's good, man?
Fucking way, bro.
Yo.
No way. He's
Yo,
like,
man, damn G, man, damn Earl, man. Everybody miss you, man. They love you, man. Just stay safe up in there, man. You good, man? He really talking to me.
Like he didn't know nothing about
Like he didn't know nothing.
Like he don't know nothing about what's going on.
And I'm sitting up there, and they said, all right, bring in, I won't say his name. I can't say his name. It's public information.
No,
anyway.
don't say his name. Don't say
Okay,
his
anyway.
name.
I kind of want to hear the name.
It's all in the transcripts in the library. The whole testify. But anyway, he's a full-fledged crackhead right now. Anyway, his life has been nothing for 40 years. But so he comes up and he walks by, and I go, yo, say his name, yo, such and such. He walks straight. Didn't even pay no attention to me. They said, do you know Earl?
No, he got the blinders on.
Blinders on.
Not even
They said, do you
acknowledging.
know Earl? And if you know who he is, point him out. So he says, that's him right there over the burgundy suit on. So I go, word, that's how you gonna do me? Yo, what is you telling these people? The judge said, Mr. Arnold, contempt of court. One more time, give you contempt of court, have him put a muzzle on you. Close your mouth. Now I'm 17. I don't even understand the full magnitude of what it is I'm going through.
Yeah.
My mother's bringing me weed every day, so I'm high during the whole trial. So I don't even know what the hell is objection.
How is she even getting weed into the
That's
jail?
easy. It's easy. It's easy.
No, never mind.
It's not now.
Never
It's
mind.
not now.
Right.
Security and all that is way
But back then
more
it's-
hard. Yeah. When I was going to trial, when I was done with trial, the New Haven bus didn't come pick me up yet, so they used to walk me from Grand Street all the way to Kendrick Ave with shackles and handcuffs on. So they'll never do that today in 2020.
Yeah, because nowadays you could just like, if your boys know you where you're walking, like they
Come
that could
get
be
you.
like
Right.
Click, click. Everybody got a gun. Grandma do too.
yeah.
So, but they'll never walk me like. But
You're not breathing no fresh air.
But that's how they're looking at me though. They're looking at me like he a little kid. He ain't getting away anyway.
Right.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So after that takes place and I get arrested, he testifies on me, lies on me, says that I came up to him and told him where the body was at.
So he's just lying to your face.
So when he called the police and told him that he seen me in the car, not only did he say he seen me in the car, he added on to it. He said he beeped the horn, I pulled over, he jumped in my car, and I asked him, you want to see a dead body?
That's crazy.
And I'm
so
sitting.
what's he gaining from this
Listen,
at this point? Like, is he?
Well, he
getting
has
paid?
another case. He has a case.
Oh, okay. He has his own case.
So he's testifying on me to get immunity
From his case.
From his case.
So he's milking this shit. Like he's just
Or
piling.
short time. But you know what's crazy part about it? He added on to a lie. He lied and added on to the lie. He lied about me pulling over and beating the horn. But he also lied about me asking him did he want to see a dead body. And then I took him to the body and showed it to him. He actually said this thing. He said it so good, he had me going, well, wait a minute. Did I pick him up? No. Did I actually pick this Negro up? Questioning my own mind.
Right.
Like, because a whole lot of stuff happened all at one time. Maybe I did.
I mean, you were a
That's how
rider.
good
Picking
this
up your
dude
boys,
was
all
telling
that.
it. He convinced me that I did a lie. But anyway, yeah, so I ended up getting arrested. I came back to Connecticut. When I came back to Connecticut, my Aunt Rita brought me to Connecticut. When I came back, I was supposed to go through the front doors where to go in the detective bureau. I didn't. I said, Auntie, meet me in the back because they always said when I turned 16, they was going to whoop my ass. So, but she didn't know I wasn't going to the police station to turn myself in. When she went in the front, I went down the back of the police station, hit Cherry Street, ran up Cherry Street, and hit on Guile Street. Went from Guile Street to Rose Street. On Rose Street, I called one of my OG boys, not knowing he got arrested the night before for a gun. So he told them, I know Earl. He calls me. He went down North Carolina.
Everybody's snitching at this point.
Everybody telling him.
You can't trust nobody at this point.
Everybody telling
Yo,
him.
everybody you're looking out for themselves, yo. They're like, yo, if I sell him out, like I could get something out of it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they're thinking they'll never, ever see me again.
Yo, you know what's funny? I remember when C Weezy was telling us, as a prior guest, he was telling us about the time he got locked up. He said, "Oh, always do your dirt by yourself, yo.
Always do your dirt by yourself if you're going to do it."
And don't tell him." Yeah, go ahead.
So I run up Guile Street. I hide on Guile Street. I call my boy up. I tell him, meet me over on such and such street at 6 o'clock. He doesn't get there till 8. And I'm not thinking nothing about why he got there so late. But the reason why he got there so late is because he had already informed the police. I called him. They already had told him if I do call, let them know immediately. Because they're gonna do a deal with him for the gun charge he got busted for the night before I get back to Connecticut. So when he meets me at this club called Blue Notes, well, not Blue, yeah, Blue Notes on Walnut. We walk across Blue Notes and we hit this little side street. We hit Rose Street. At the head of Rose Street, the street lights are off, but I'm not really paying attention to why the street lights are off. But I seek the refuge in the darkness because when you're a criminal and you're on the run from the police, you want to be in dark places.
Yeah.
So this particular place was nice and dark. I felt comfortable immediately. So I gave him some money that everybody down south had gave me. Told him, go get some weed. And like I said, I was so feeble-minded. I said, get me a Twinkie and a Sunkist orange soda. A little kid snack. And they're looking for me for capital felony murder. But anyway, he leaves. He runs back 10 minutes later. Said, I just seen the detectives. I said, bro, I live on the other side of town. They don't know I'm over here.
Yeah.
Go get the weed and get the food, man. Guess what? He had me in an ambush. The reason why he ran back, and the reason why I know this is because he testified. The reason why he ran back is because the detective said, go make sure he's still sitting in that spot because he's fast as hell. Because he can run. I was known for a run. So he ran back. He said that. I told him, blah, blah, blah. He left. When he left, 2 minutes later, I seen a white guy coming walking down the street. I said, well, this is /Italian/black. Maybe he's in one of the houses. Somebody called him to fix the plumber broke in the basement or something. I don't know. But he was walking with one hand swinging, the other one wasn't. Then I noticed he had white hair. I said, wait a minute. I know this dude. He was a famous jogging detective that was called Whitehead, and he would run anybody down. So they put him on me.
Okay.
He was fast, spur of the moment fast runner, but
No endurance.
he had no endurance. I was fast, spur of the moment runner the whole time.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So he's walking towards me, and I'm sitting on a milk crate, and I look at him, and I stand up, and I swear, if you can visualize this in your mind.
I'm seeing it, man. Like
I'm not gonna lie to you, it's like a movie in my brain right now.
Okay, now visualize this. Take it to another level as far as painting the story in your mind. Picture watching a movie, and in a particular scene, the movie goes into slow motion.
Yeah.
And the movie's going into slow motion, but the movie's slow motion is catching the person's eyes, looking like You know what I mean? If the listener can, you guys get it. So now, as I'm looking at this cop come running, walking towards me, he's walking slow, but the movie's going slow, and I'm looking at him. And as I'm looking at him,
like
in the
you're
movie,
just processing shit,
and I'm standing up at the same time, slow motion, because I'm getting in a position to run.
Right.
As soon as I stood up full erect, his hand rises, and he got whatever his revolver was, pointed. Somebody called the police station and said I had a .45 caliber on me. So they put out all-point bulletins, shoot to kill. Armed and dangerous. And already killed a white Italian woman.
Yeah.
So they already up in hills about this. They're having race arguments at the courthouse. When I'm down at the courthouse, they got snipers on the roofs and all this type of stuff. Yeah, because somebody done blew it up and made it seem like they were connected to the John Gotti family or somebody, you know. But anyway, so I'm on the run, and where I go at, where this guy sets me up at, when the cop's walking towards me, I'm in slow motion, he's in slow motion, I stand up and he rides the gun at me. He don't say hold or nothing. He busts a shot at me.
Oh, he just shoot.
Shoot to kill. Shoot to kill.
You don't got nothing on you, right? No gun.
They don't know that.
This probably gonna plant a gun on you too.
They don't know that. Exactly.
Yeah.
You never know. So when he's raising his hand, as soon as he does that, just before he shot, guess what came on? All the street lights. Remember I told you it was dark.
Yeah.
The electric company was down. Because the police had set up a stake area with this dude, telling him where I'm at, where he was going to meet me at, and the whole night. So they had Naugatuck cops and Watertown cops in people's basements, cars, and everything, in this general Wood Street, Rose Street area right here, right? Wilson, School Hill, all that is in that whole vicinity. And as soon as he raised that gun and shot at me, all the street lights came on, people jumped out of cars, basements, and everything. I immediately ran down the street and hit backyards. Bro, I swear, as I'm hitting the backyards, bullets are hitting the garbage can even before I passed it. It was literally trying to kill me. But God was moving each one of those bullets out the way because my name wasn't on them. I got away. 3 o'clock in the morning, I was in a doghouse that I found refuge in. And while I'm in that doghouse, I heard
literal doghouse.
A little Chihuahua doghouse too. I was bent up in that shit like Jim Carrey. You hear me?
Yeah.
So as I'm in the doghouse, the little poodle dog is trying to get back in the doghouse, but he can't. So he's backing his ass all up in my face, and I'm contorted all in the doghouse, so I can't push him away because my arms are bent all up. I'm trying to hide in this doghouse.
Yeah.
So I'm able to see my watch, and I look, and it's like 3:30, 3:45. And I hear, 4830 location. Now, that's the worst sound that you want to hear when you on the run hiding from the police.
Because they already know where you at.
They're already right in the area.
And you don't know where they're at. You don't know if they're looking right down at you or whatever. So now I'm in the doghouse, and I'm so feeble-minded. Like I said, in my mind, my imagination is really carrying me a lot of the way. I disappeared. In my mind, if you looked in that doghouse,
you ain't there.
You wouldn't have seen me. And my face and body language and all that was...
You turn invisible.
So now I'm blowing the dog. Trying to push the dog away. Another female dog comes, I assume. They leave. About 3:45, I hear that noise. The walkie-talkie. A cop walks in back of the same particular yard that I had backtracked 50 yards because they checked going all the way down. I backtracked them. I'm in his yard. I know they don't know I'm in there. I'm on there. Oh, my God. So now I'm praying to God. Lord, please, I swear I'll never do nothing ever again. Just get me out of this last. I'll go sleep in the woods. I'll be a hermit.
Yeah, I don't think God getting you out of murder.
Please, Lord, please. I'm begging God, right? I see a shiny boot come in front of the doghouse. Then I see two shiny boots in front of the doghouse. Now I'm in the doghouse and my face is right there.
Is the whole doghouse like covered? Like you can't see? Like
no, it's a little dog. It's about this high. It's a doghouse. Nice, they made a doghouse.
I know, but it's like covered on all ends. Like like some of them you can't really see except like the front.
No,
door.
it was a house.
Okay.
Dog house. It literally was built with a, you know.
All right.
So as I'm in it, The cop comes and stands right in front of the doghouse and drops a pair of handcuffs in front of the doghouse. I said, oh, man, they want me to cuff myself, or as soon as I step out the doghouse, they're going to shoot me. So, disappeared. So, in my mind, God done heard my prayer, and I'm not there. He bends down. I bullshit you not. All he had to do, not even a full 360, just a half a 360, and turn his face just like this. He'd have looked me right in my eyes if he would have did that. He picked the handcuffs off the ground and said, okay, Johnny, I found him, and walked away. Now, I get arrested the next day. I got arrested the next day. Not by him. I went somewhere else and got busted in somebody's house.
Well, so you escaped that situation?
Yes!
Wait, what?
Yes, listen.
I thought they just put the cuffs there.
He picks the handcuffs up and says, I found him, Johnny. Walked out this backyard.
I thought you said when he said I found you, he's talking about you.
No.
He's talking about the cuffs.
Cuffs.
He's dropped them shits.
Right.
Oh my God, bro.
Leaves this backyard. When he leaves the backyard, I'm in there shitting. I'm like, what is it going? They got me surrounded. They set me up. This is a cold-blooded murder.
Man, I would have moved for 8 hours.
Right? Bro, I got out the doghouse about an hour later. I crawled from Walnut Street to Hawkins Street. I'm not bullshitting you. Literally. Look, my knees right now.
To this day. Are still all those holes. Look at all them holes and cuts.
Yeah.
What kids you know got them that doesn't always fall? But look at my knees. This is from that night, 40 years ago. Damn. I crawled. I was scared to get up and walk. I crawled through Clark's parking lot. You know where that's at. Clark's parking lot is on the bottom of just before you take that sharp turn on Vine Street. That wall right there.
Okay.
That's the armory and stuff that used to be down there.
Okay.
Well, that used to be called Clark's parking lot. And you can walk from North Main through there and you'll come right out on Vine. It was a shortcut. I crawled all the way to Hawkins Street. I had glass boats and everything all on my knees. I ain't feeling that. I was so scared. It was numb.
Adrenaline's like on a
Adrenaline's going crazy. So anyway, make a long story short.
Nah, don't make it short.
So I crawl from there, and I go into this dude's crib, and he didn't want to let me in. He got shot in the jaw the night before. He was scared. He seen me. Oh, they gonna kill you. They gonna kill you. They gonna kill me too.
This somebody you know? It's one of your
somebody
boys?
I know, older guy named Greg Badette, and which was he ended up testifying on me. He set me up too. Yeah, 8 people testified on me, and none of them told the truth. So I ended up getting knocked off then, but this is how I found out about the handcuffs and the cop. After they interrogated me for 9 hours, because that's what they do, don't feed you no water, no nothing, you eventually start saying what they want you to say. Oh, well, did you chop off her ear? Yeah, I chopped the ear off. I'm tired. Yeah, I chopped off. What else? 2 fingers and 1 toe. You start saying,
whatever it takes.
It's called psychological confessions.
Right.
That's what it's called. If you Google it. So they interrogate me, put me through all that stuff after they got everything they wanted to get out of me, put me down in the cold cell, and as I'm in the cold cell, I see this cop walking by. I say, he looks familiar.
That's the guy that looked at you.
I said, excuse me, officer. Oh, what do you want, Earl? Stick a fork in you. You're well done. You're done. I ain't asked you all that. Well, I'm telling you, you're done. You shouldn't. What you did was uncalled for. It's unacceptable. You're done. Stick a fork in yourself. So I go, all right, whatever. I just want to ask you one question. Why did you pick the handcuffs in front of the door? Oh, well, shh. Be quiet. Shh. What do you mean be quiet? Listen, I'm a rookie. And when you're a rookie, you can't drop and lose your cuffs, your bullet, your gun, or your badge. So they teach you to get a dummy of everything except the gun. You can't get a dummy gun. You can get a dummy badge, you can get dummy bullets, and you can get, real bullets, but handcuffs and the handcuff key while on probation. That's what I was told. That's what he said.
Okay.
It might be a different policy now, so somebody might be listening that's a cop and say that's not true.
Okay.
But this is 40 years ago.
All right.
So he says, I went home because I worked first shift, but I got drafted to work second. And the partner that I was riding with, he was a veteran and I didn't trust him. Because they tell him, people telling each other, get him out. He might not like his partner. He want his old partner back.
Yeah.
So he said, well, because he worked a double, he was able to go home and get something to eat. When he went home and get something to eat, he went and got the handcuffs. He just so happened just to pick that particular backyard that I was hiding in. And I said, if you'd looked in that doghouse where you dropped those handcuffs at, you'd have looked me right in my eyes. As a rookie, there ain't no telling what that would have catapulted you. You'd have probably been lieutenant next year. Right? He goes, shh, well, just keep that between me and you, because I can lose my job. He says, damn, that's going to be a hell of a story I tell my grandkids later on down the years. And it's a hell of a story I'm telling my nieces and nephews down the years. But these type of things were taking place. Like unbelievable movie scenarios that people don't even think really do exist, but they do. You know what I mean?
Because, when he looked down, your heart dropped at that point.
Man.
He got you.
I was dead.
You almost started coming out the dog cage.
Listen, when they finally caught me, I was hiding in a trunk in the attic. One of them pirate trunks with the oval round top. And I almost actually got away because when I went into the attic and hid inside the trunk, there were brown bags on the floor. And so I took one of the brown bags and I tried to slide it on top of the trunk as I closed it. But as I'm trying to close the trunk and put the bag, it's not happening.
Right.
The dynamics of that is not happening physically. The oval in your arm is not. So you know what I did? I could see the holes through the trunk. And so when I closed the trunk, I just threw the bag up just to try it. I threw the paper bag up and it came right down in the center of the oval trunk and balanced itself. So when the cops came up into the attic and checked the attic, they looked at the cedar chest because I could see them through the little holes. But in their mind, they're going, logically, there's nobody that could close that trunk and balance a paper bag on the top of an oval trunk. That's like this can laying sideways.
Yeah, I get it.
You understand? So your mind is saying, no, it ain't the hell no.
Yeah.
You ain't want to look stupid looking in here. You ain't want to look stupid looking in here. So as they're going down the stairs from the attic, it's one of these attics where the last stair is your top stair. So as you're coming up the stairs like this, your bottom stair is your flat floor. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So as they're going down the stairs, I can see their bodies going like this. This is the stair. This is their body.
Yeah.
But this is a head.
Yeah.
And then I seen the head go, no, peek back up the top layer of the stairs and look over at the cedar chest and yelled down to his partners and said, hold up. Did anybody check that cedar chest? Because that little slick motherfucker, excuse the language, that little slick son of a gun, he's a fast, slick, conniving. Well, no, he used the word conniving. He used the word when you're slick, when you can. Anyway, he said, paraphrasing in a roundabout way, he's a slickster. He can get away. He can hide. He's like, you know what I mean? They came back up the stairs. They had pumps, everything looking for me. They knocked the bag off the top of the cedar chest. And guess what I did? I jumped out of the cedar chest like a jack in the box and said, y'all got me, man. Good run. Y'all got me.
You started laughing at them. That probably pissed them off even more.
Do you know that could have got me killed?
Yeah.
Me jumping out that trunk like that? But I thought, me being the kid that I was.
So they didn't even look yet. You just popped up.
Right. I seen them knock the bag off.
Oh, okay.
They came back up the stairs to look in the trunk. Remember, he said, did anybody check that trunk? So I wanted to beat him to the punch.
Well, I would have gave somebody a heart attack.
Thinking that it was going to minimize what was getting ready to happen to me.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't want to show no resistance with these cops because it was going in my mind. They said when I turned 16, they're going to whoop my ass. And I've never been arrested as an adult. So I jumped out. Hey! All right, y'all. Yo, good run. They put a pump on this side of my head and a pump on this side of my head and lifted me out of the trunk, handcuffed me, and threw me down the stairs. Literally threw me down the stairs. When I got outside, the whole town, the black neighborhood, was outside on that street going crazy. Because nobody believed that I did it. They thought I was set up. They thought somebody had to have done it. They looked at somebody older put me up to it because I looked like a little kid. And they didn't see murder in me.
Okay.
I didn't, but it just happened to happen. And so Make a long story short, I went to trial. My first offer was 100 years, so I had no other choice but to go to trial. Nobody cops out to 100 years.
Yeah, what the?
So they did it on purpose.
It's like a death sentence, anyways. You know,
Right? Because the initial cop out was supposed to be 40 years.
Okay.
But nobody came and told me about it. They hid that. And by the time I realized it was against the law what they did, I was like 35 years into the sentence.
Yeah, you're like damn near there anyway.
Once somebody point, you know what they did to you. What are you talking about? When they offer you, they're always supposed to offer you, give you an offer. And they're supposed to make you aware of what that offer is. To give you the opportunity to avoid trial. Add insult to injury to the victim's family, the whole nine. Especially if you're guilty. What'd you go to trial for? So I'm going to trial because my lawyer highly advised me to. I ain't want to go to trial. But my mother said, listen to your lawyer. She high on dope. Listen to your lawyer. And so they offered me 100 years. So here comes trial. So now here I am on trial. Like I said, my mother's bringing me weed every day that she can. The first 30 days of me being locked up, though, in the court process, my mother wasn't with me because she was in rehab. They told her she had to do rehab in order for her to be my legal guardian during my trial. So, So in my first 30 days of my initial process of court process, my lawyer was my legal guardian.
Okay.
So you know where I was going with that. Straight to hell. Yeah, nothing is in my best interest as far as they're concerned. And even though he's my lawyer, I killed somebody white.
There's not much you could do to get out of that, you know?
Stick a fork in you, like he said. Well done. But so they offered me 100 years. I went to trial, got found guilty in trial. Like I said, moms brought me weed every day, so I was high during the process. Didn't understand objection, didn't understand overrule, didn't understand nothing. I didn't understand nothing during my trial. In fact, when I got on the stand in my own trial, like I told the sister over there, that I literally didn't know my left hand from my right when they told me to put my hand on the Bible. And I put the wrong hand. The sheriff said, no, not that one, son, the other one. And I said, like, okay, okay. Like, what's this mean?
Yeah.
You would think that the people in the courtroom who were adults would have an aha moment like, wow, did you see that?
Like he's still a kid.
He don't even know his left hand from his right.
Nah, they're probably looking at your actions, to be honest. Like, what happened?
How can he know? How can he understand this trial shit?
Right.
If he don't know his left hand, listen, the only reason why I didn't know my left hand from my right is because it never came up in a conversation. Nobody never asked me, what hand are you?
Yeah.
They do that in schools and stuff now. What hand are you? So that never came up. But it still spoke to the feeble-mindedness. So I got found guilty, went to trial, got 70 years. They gave me 70 years. I was sentenced to 70.
You were sentenced to 70?
Yeah.
Jeez.
I did the percentage.
The 80%? What is it? 85%
No.
or something like that?
No, 80%, 85% is now. I was under the old law. I did 7.5 months on the year and 30 days off. I did 7.5 months on the year and 16 days on a month. So my every 30 days was 16.
Okay.
My every year was 7 months instead of 12 months.
All right.
That's because of good behavior, good time.
So, damn.
So I still had to do 40 years, close to 40 years.
So one year in there, you never did anything like you never fucked up anything?
Well, absolutely. My first 10 years is the worst years of my life. Been stabbed 8 different times.
In prison?
In prison. Yeah. All the scars you see, my nose is broke. Got scars on my nose. Tooth got chipped. I cracked 5 vertebrae in my lower back. Got jumped one time by some 20 Love gang members.
At any point in time, did it ever like register the murder? Like, at what point in time did it register? Like, okay, like I killed somebody. You said at 17 you weren't really thinking about that. You were feeble-minded.
Nope, because and even when I was sentenced and went to prison, it still didn't hit me. And the reason why it didn't hit me because when I left society, I didn't leave nothing. You know what I mean? The average individual that's going to prison at 25, 30, something like that, they're leaving something behind. A wife, or not a wife or girlfriend, kids.
Something. They got
something.
Yeah.
As an adult.
Yeah, you didn't even start your life.
I had no frame of reference of what that means to be a man in society. I grew up in prison. So, the reason why prison didn't have that much of a complete psychological effect on me, to the point where as I was in the Medline on the most high powerful Thorazine that you can imagine somebody taking, whereas they can smoke a cigarette all the way down and burn in between their fingers and burn it so much to the point where it's now it don't even burn no more. It just smells like burnt skin.
Yeah.
It done calcified and everything. You know, this is the medication that dudes who do or receive sentences like mine result to.
Because they can't handle it.
Can't handle it. And I think one of the main reasons why I was able to handle it is because, once again, I left nothing behind. And because I left nothing behind, I had no burdens. I had no worries.
Yeah, also, I guess, in a way, you have nothing to look forward to. You know what I mean? Like,
or lose.
Yeah, like you're not like, you know, like if you're in prison and you got kids or something like that, right? You're like, all right, like I got 10 years till I can see my kids,
right?
My kids or something like that. Like you came from nothing,
right?
You didn't have nothing.
Came from a dark place.
Yeah.
And so
in a way, you'd say that kind of helped you get through the time.
It did, but it also caused me to crash and burn too, because I was in the prison and I didn't have those worries, and I didn't have the burdens that other people would carry. I didn't take prison serious. I took it like it was a joke when I first got there. I knew I was going to be there a long time, but I didn't take it serious. Like, yo, these are real murderers. You real serial killers. Like,
yeah,
bro, they don't care nothing about you. Like, they really will fuck you in your ass. Like, seriously, like, you a pretty young fly black guy. You better be crazy. So me getting there, knowing all those different type of things could take place. Nobody's exempt. Yeah. Not even you.
Right.
Big black man. They're coming at you. If that's what they want.
They like them thick.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Now, mind you, that was a culture.
In the 80s?
From the 60s and 70s guys.
The rape?
See, the 60s and 70s generation are responsible for the 70s, the 80s and beginning 90s generation.
Okay.
I walked into the generation of the 60s and 70s graduating in the 80s. Because everybody that did 25 years of life was leaving in the 80s. They caught it in the 60s and 70s.
So the jail rapes was a product of the 60s and 70s?
Say that again?
You said the jail raping is part of the 60s and 70s?
No. Yes, 60s and 70s culture did that.
Really?
Yes. Absolutely.
What it was? I wonder what it was.
The reason why, a lot of hippies, that was the culture. That was like, you know what I mean? And it just went right to prison. But I guess it made it more easier for prison because then the dude could just take your ass.
Essentially, yeah.
Essentially. But like I said, it was pretty popular then. In the 80s, when I got there, it started dying out. I'm probably when I got there, the whole time I was there, I ended up doing 13 years there because it became a level medium security. It was no more maximum. But from the 13 years I was there was only probably 2 rape incidents the whole time I was there because it was dying off.
Okay.
Different generations start coming into a play, and that was taboo. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what? Faggot? What? My generation was like that too.
So the homophobia really kind of saved a lot of people from getting raped.
Exactly. Exactly. And so I walked into that atmosphere. When I walked into it, now I have to be extra. So now if an OG dude knocked you out, he left you knocked out. If I knocked you out, I stabbed you a couple times, and I rolled you off the second tier. So the word can get out. And this ain't no exaggeration. Listen, I could come back and have paperwork showing my disciplinary history. Everything that I'm talking about is in black and white. For real.
So you in there, like your first couple of years, is just being the craziest.
My first 10 years.
10 years. Being the craziest person you could be.
There was no justice period. It was survival of the fittest. I was physically a human being, but I was acting instinctively like an animal.
But at this point, you said there's like, the guards there, they don't really give a shit. They're just making sure
you
you
don't
don't
leave. That right.
So like, you know, I feel like nowadays you kind of do this shit. Like they're on top of you, they're putting you away, they're adding extra years on top of that. Like, so to an extent that kind of benefited you, because if you pulled that shit off, like in your probably later 10 years, right? You probably wouldn't have been here.
I wouldn't have been here.
Yeah.
But then again, I'm not even gonna say that neither, because the Most High has control of all that.
True.
But the possibility would have been more greater for me not to be here.
Yeah.
To be here, right?
Okay.
Let's put it like that. We don't want to speak independently of God.
Right.
But yeah, that was a fact. But I had to be extra, so I had to develop a crazy name, and not just GQ, because GQ came later. GQ came when I started developing, when I learned how to read and write. When I started educating myself. I gotta tell you about that process. So walking up in there early like that, those first 10 years, I had to be all I had to be in order to be who I am today. You know what I mean? For what that's worth, savage, for what that's worth. And I don't even want to use the word savage, because the savages was fucking people, and I wasn't fucking people.
Okay.
So I was less of a goon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Cold-blooded. Like what? You know, definitely didn't know about love. Didn't know about compassion. Didn't know about sympathy, empathy. You know, my mama didn't show me those things, and wouldn't expect you to think that I'm a know these
Show the world this shit.
Yeah, you know. And so it was rough, man, those first few years, man. My mother was visiting me all the way up until 85.
Is she clean at this point?
No. My mother been getting high since the 70s. And
I know, because you said she had to go to rehab to come
the
visit.
30 days, she had to do the 30 days just
Then
to
she
stay
just
up in
went-
there. She
then
was
she
getting
went-
high while she was in the rehab. Somebody
Okay.
bringing her something. That's just for formality
Okay.
shit.
Please, somebody tell me.